So episode 1 wasn't special, but episode 2 to 4 I liked and thought this webtoon was going to be different. But watching episode 5, my excitement is down again. Episode 5 reminded me this webtoon is just like any other dungeon adventure anime. I will still watch this webtoon, but my feelings are a roller coaster, so who knows how long those feelings will last. With that, let's look at the past few episodes. Episode 2, we get a backstory of Ban and Rachel and how Ban basically learned everything he knows from Rachel. After that, this episode opens right where episode 1 left off in the middle of the Hunger Games. This one guy, Rack, saw Ban and notices that he has this Black March sword and he just wants to fight him because he's like, oh, you look skinny, but you have this amazing, powerful weapon and I love to fight powerful people, so let's kill each other. This guy named Khan saves Ban, and he wants to learn more about the Black March. That's really the only reason why he saves him. Khan is such a smartass, but I feel like he deserves it. Like, he actually is smart and knows what he's doing. I mean, like, the best comparison to this is when it happened, I was thinking of Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time. Basically, Khan thinks exactly like that. Khan and Ban stay by each other's side while Rack is looking for them. And Ban tells Khan that he only remembers what Rachel taught him, which is what we saw in the beginning of this episode. This Hunger Games contest ends, but not really. The remaining survivors must create a group of 3 to ally with each other within 5 minutes, and then they pass the actual test. Ban, Kang, and Rack are forced to team up together. Levro is sad more people lived, so he creates a test that the groups must pass through a water wall. Somehow Ban wasn't affected by this and gets a free pass of the test. Some people can easily walk through this wall, while others have to push their way through and are struggling so hard to get past this wall. Ban asks Levro about Rachel, and he says he doesn't know her. Of course Ban has to ask about Rachel, like that's not surprising on his one and only question is about her. But Lero tells Ban that an irregular of the tower is someone who doesn't follow the tower's rules, which is probably going to be Ban, or at least Ban's going to want to be that. We find out that luck is the key to winning the tower. I mean, this wall tower test to get past it is just to see who the power has chosen to be there and advance on. In this episode, they make it seem like there's the only world of the tower and nothing else exists. So nothing outside is real. You live in this tower, die in this tower, just everything is about this tower, which is weird because I feel like there is an outside world, or maybe there used to be an outside world of the tower, but now maybe like the surviving people of an apocalypse all live in this tower. But who knows? We'll probably find out in later episodes. So on to test 3, which will be the next episode. This anime seems like as it moves on, like each floor is a different test, but they'll be similar to other animes, like I said, from episode 1 in this anime of the adventure dungeon animes. If you don't know what that is, you can just Google search or Yahoo, whatever you like to use. Just look up animes about dungeons, and it's literally going to be the same plot for every single one. But this anime, it seems like they're trying to do a twist to the dungeon show, so that's really nice to see. The animation is so weird, but mainly because it's a webtoon, but I want to see if they actually will make the storyline one sees within the dungeon plots related to the show just with a twist, which I think they will be. Episode 1 wasn't special, but episode 2 is showing potential, and this could be like a good anime. Animation is still weird. So episode 3, we learn a little bit about Khan's background, and Ban has never seen the sky before, and Rack makes fun of him for it. But Khan says he's doubt there's even a sky in the real world, which, like last episode, we kind of learned, or maybe it was hinted that the outside world doesn't even exist. There's only the world of the tower. So like this whole entire scene is just weird, because they're like, oh, there's a world outside the tower, and some of the characters are like, oh, no, it's not, and they like argue about it. And then last episode, yeah, they were like, oh, the world is only of the tower. So this is a weird little contradicting scene right here, but whatever. I mean, all the groups who passed all the tests so far, they're just waiting for other groups to finish so they can leave the waiting area. But now we're in a test where you have to go into a room. We're not sure what's going on, but you have 10 minutes. But the thing is, a random guy tells Ban and his team that the test, even though there's a time limit, it's a lot shorter than the 10 minutes, meaning the test is a setup and they actually have less time than what they thought. Now, after this, it's time for a Ban's team to take the test. This third test they have to pass is them having to pick the right door out of a room they are trapped in. They only have one chance, and Rack is annoying during this test. But he randomly picks a door and it ends up being correct because they did it within the 5-minute time limit as opposed to the 10. Meaning that random guy was correct when he said that this whole entire test is just a setup and you have less time than what you actually were told. The teams who pass this third test are in another waiting room again, which is annoying to see a bunch of waiting rooms, but the test administrator appears again and he says that all the teams can participate in an extra bonus test. This test is not mandatory, which is nice because I feel like this webtoon is actually serious where if a team doesn't want to participate, they're not going to kill them or have them disqualified. It's just an extra test for teams to do. But this extra bonus test, whoever wins will be able to climb the tower, which this test is just a one-sided capture the flag, and for them to climb the tower, I kind of thought that's what they were already doing with all these tests and floors, but maybe if they won, it's just an automatic you go on the top floor right away, like you don't have to go through all these tests and floors, you just go there right away. So episode 4, we're in this middle of the one-sided capture the flag, and Ban sees this girl that he thinks is Rachel, and he shouts out Rachel's name. She doesn't answer, so it can't be her. Or can it? The next round of this crown fight starts, and two teams come out of the gate. During the second round, the Black March acts weird, and the girl who originally had the crown, Anak, goes to Ban's waiting gate to see the Black March. Anak has a similar blade as Black March, and she demands Black March back. She says that Ban has no right in having it because he wasn't the original owner. Ban says that he will only give it back to the woman who gave it to him. Ban and Anak make a bet, kind of? Not really sure about that because Ban team interrupts and says no. So the third round of this crown game starts and 4 teams are now fighting for the crown. Ban's team wins, but Khan doesn't wear the crown right away, so the fight still continues. Ban sits on the throne and Khan gives him the crown. In episode 5 is where episode 4 left off, and the reason why Khan gave Ban the crown is because he did like this copycat of the crown, which I definitely saw the 2 crowns coming, one fake, one real. Like, that shouldn't have been surprising to viewers, and if it was, I'm sorry. So the fourth round begins. There's only 2 rounds left. Ban's team is currently winning, and if they can win the next 2 rounds, they can climb the tower. There are only 3 teams right now fighting for the crown, and Khan tells Ban and Rak that they don't have to fight this round because the 3 teams end up fighting each other, mainly because one of those teams owns Khan a favor and he's cashing it in, which this favor was from episode 2 during the Hunger Games, where Khan was walking around trying to find people to be on his team or potential allies, and he just found these 3 people and was like, hey, I will save your life or make you pass all these tests in return. Like, I'm gonna be your master or something. Like, you're gonna owe me a favor. Which, who thinks like that? Like, that is so detailed and just, yeah, said it before. That's such like a Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time. Just such like a diva jerk move. But it worked. We have reached the last round. And Rachel's team and another team come out to fight Ban's team for the crown. But, one person in this round, maybe a third team that I didn't see or we didn't see, just wipes out half the other players in the round, which is pretty impressive for one person, but at the same time, I have no idea where they came from. Rachel goes to Ban's side and tells him that her team won't steal the crown, they're actually here to help him win. So, I know if I was Ban, I would help Rachel and leave the throne, but at the same time, this girl you love left you. Are you really going to die for her? This whole scene right here at the end just annoyed me. I mean, I understand Ban's action on protecting Rachel and losing the game, but still, dude, you lost and almost died for someone who left you alone. So maybe you shouldn't have done that. This bonus Capture the Crown game ends, and there is no winner, and we learn the real reason why this bonus game took place to begin with. I have not read Tower of God. I will say Tower of God as a webtoon has potential to be good. I think it depends on the episode and what happens, because with episode 5 so far, there were some surprises, but they keep going into the trap of this same storyline that can be found in other animes. I mean, Van, main character, episode 1, yeah, it was a given. He went in the tower, is gonna climb up, have an easy time. In episode 2 to episode 4, there were some twists and turns, which was really nice. Then episode 5, at the very end, we learn again, Van, main character, has some special powers, gonna, like, still climb this tower, and the people in the tower are afraid of him. Yeah, so just very weird. If you agree or disagree, comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this series. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like.